in. Look at your eyes.
What's wrong with my eyes?
Well, they're red. Bloodshot.
You ought to see them from my side.
We're counting on you, kid.
Westerns that put a smile on your face. Westerns, since their beginning over 100 years ago, have generally been serious in nature. Tough cowboys living and working in the Wild West. Life was cheap in a lawless land. Countless movies have entertained us. Many actors have risen to stardom. Today we will take a look at some of these actors and movies that, while being tough guys, were still able to lift the edges of our mouths and make us smile. Nowadays, we need it more than ever. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you like the video, hit the notification button to get my new videos. Head over to my channel to check out my other videos. Then check out my Facebook page. The links are in the description. Like, share and subscribe. You know the drill. Let's go. The Sheepman, 1958, directed by George Marshall. A self-assured stranger arrives in a western cattle town, intent on grazing his herd of sheep on the local range. His presence and intentions raise eyebrows with the local townspeople, who want to remove him by any means necessary. The film explores themes of outsider conflict in the Old West. Cast: Glenn Ford, Shirley MacLaine, Leslie Nielsen, Edgar Buchanan, Pernell Roberts, Slim Pickens. The Sheepman is an example of how the genres of western and comedy can be blended. Thanks to its cast led by Glenn Ford, Shirley MacLaine and Leslie Nielsen, The Sheepman is as humorous as it is exciting. While the film does include a climactic life-or-death showdown, it certainly does not lean too heavily on violence, instead relying more on the humorous side of its premise.
Portrayed with zest by Shirley MacLaine. Bright discovery of around the world in 80 days.
Milt, who is that man?
Whoever he is, he ain't someone in a popularity contest that's trying very hard to win
my hand for years.
What are you talking about? What's that you're holding there? Look at that.
You know what I mean.
Either you teach your cattle to get along with sheep.
The whole range explodes as the big cattle country defies the challenge. Now the sheepman outwits and outguesses all comers, runs a reckless course in fierce excitement and showdown action.
Support Your Local Sheriff, 1969, directed by Burt Kennedy. Cast: James Garner, Joan Hackett, Walter Brennan, Jack Elam, Bruce Dern. Support Your Local Sheriff is a hilarious take on classic Western films. Follows Jason McCullough, a skilled gunfighter who steps up to be the sheriff of the town of Callender, filling the vacancy while the town is overrun by the boorish Danby family. This film may lack the gripping dramatic elements at the core of many Westerns, but it makes up for it with its consistently hilarious comedy. It is essential to realize that Support Your Local Sheriff is not simply spoofing Westerns, rather than paying tribute to them. An entertaining film that encapsulates what so many audiences love about the genre.
Stupid.
Are you calling the sheriff stupid?
Do I have to listen to him? He ain't nothing but the town character.
What is the town character? I'm now a deputy sheriff, and probably the second fastest gun around here.
Did you hear that?
He probably is. And if he isn't, he will be after I've had a chance to work with him for a couple of days. Come on, Joe.
Maverick, 1994, directed by Richard Donner. Cast: Mel Gibson, Jodie Foster, James Garner, James Coburn. Based on the 50s television series of the same name, Maverick utilizes one key trope found in classic westerns: gambling. This comedic western stars Gibson as Brett Maverick Jr., a con man looking to collect money to enter a high-stakes poker game to win a fortune. This Academy Award-winning film also stars Jodie Foster and James Garner, as well as including cameo appearances by numerous iconic Western actors. Maverick pays a fitting tribute to countless Western films without having to rely on the use of excessive violence. Maverick can certainly be appreciated by casual Western fans, but its frequent cameo appearances make it an exciting who's who for dedicated fans of the genre.
Spring in there. Oh, come on, kid, let's just play poker.
Kapaloo, 1965, directed by Elliot Silverstein. A schoolteacher, now turned outlaw to avenge her father's murder, assembles a ragtag team with a drunken gunslinger to take on a corrupt railroad tycoon. Chocked full of comedy, action, and musical interludes, a blend of Western adventure with light-hearted, tongue-in-cheek performances from its cast. Cast: Jane Fonda, Lee Marvin, Michael Callan, Dwayne Hickman, Nat King Cole, Stubby Kaye, Tom Hardini, John Marley. Kapaloo flips the classic Western setup. Jane Fonda as Catherine Cat Ballou, a brave woman determined to protect her father and their ranch when it is discovered that the gunfighter she hired to help is little more than an alcoholic, unable to shoot accurately unless he's drunk. Though it has some tense moments, its comedy gives the film a feel-good quality, well received, and stands among the greatest feel-good westerns of all time. Rango, 2011, directed by Gore Verbinski. An animated comedy starring Johnny Depp as a pet chameleon named Rango finds himself lost in the desert when he falls out of his family's truck. Rango stumbles into the role of sheriff for a town under control by a corrupt baron who limits access to water for townspeople to make money. Rango meets a young woman that catches his fancy. He'll utilize his knowledge of Hollywood westerns to fake the role of a sheriff, to win her heart and save the town of dirt. Cast: Johnny Depp, Ilsa Fisher, Timothy Oliphant, Abigail Breslin, Ned Beatty, Alfred Molina, Bill Nye, Stephen Root, Harry Dean Stanton. Backed by a star-studded voice cast, the film is a fun, exciting experience for any age. When thinking of Western movies, many people would not consider animated films based solely on that one particular element. It's impossible to deny Rango's status as a Western.
Rango.
Calamity Jane, 1953, directed by David Butler. Doris Day is the titular character, a brash, rootin'-tootin' frontierswoman, set in the wild Old West. The musical follows Calamity as she navigates her rugged lifestyle, her boisterous personality clashing with social expectations, and her unexpected romances. Howard Keel co-stars as Wild Bill Hickok, adding to the film's lively, dynamic, and memorable musical numbers. The film remains a vibrant portrayal of American Western folklore. Jane travels to Chicago to convince a well-known singer to perform at her saloon, only for the plan to go awry when she accidentally recruits the singer's maid after failing to recognize her. With love stories, big laughs, and just about every element that makes the Western what it is today. Not as gritty and dramatic as many classic Westerns, but it provides a thoroughly entertaining experience nonetheless, with exciting musical numbers and a stunning all-round performance by Doris Day. Destry Rides Again, 1939, directed by George Marshall. Tom Destry Jr., the son of a famous deceased lawman, is called in by the bottleneck sheriff to be a second-in-command in the hope that he will bring order to the town, the same way that his father did. But the son has his own methods. Cast: Marlene Dietrich, James Stewart, Misha Orr, Charles Winginger. James Stewart may not be best known for his roles in westerns, but he certainly knew how to dominate the screen whenever he appeared in one. This was clear from his very first introduction to the genre. Regardless of his opinions on firearms, Destry exemplifies the genre in a moral sense, taking a stand for what he believes is right, regardless of what others may think. Blazing Saddles, 1974, directed by Mel Brooks. Blazing Saddles stars Cleveland Little as Bart, a black sheriff appointed in a small frontier town by Hedley Lamar, a railroad man who believes Bart's appointment will destabilize the town enough to drive everyone out and allow him to build a new railroad line through it. Instead, with the help of gunslinger Jim, the Waco Kid, Bart works to thwart Lamar's schemes. Cast: Cleveland Little, Gene Wilder, Slim Pickens, Harvey Korman, Madeline Kahn, Mel Brooks. The film follows a new sheriff who faces immense prejudice as he attempts to rally his townsfolk against a wealthy man who plots to take all the town's land in order to construct a new railroad. The film garnered mixed opinions upon its release. Blazing Saddles is now widely hailed as a classic of the hybrid comedy western genre. Blazing Saddles does contain a handful of shootouts, in true tribute to its western roots, but these scenes are played much more for comedy rather than violence. Rio Bravo, 1959, directed by Howard Hawks, starring John Wayne and Dean Martin. Wayne playing a local sheriff that must hold a local criminal in jail until the US Marshal can arrive to pick him up. Cast: John Wayne, Dean Martin, Ricky Nelson, Angie Dickinson, Walter Brennan. It should come as no surprise that Rio Bravo is a feel-good western for the ages. This unique film follows a small-town sheriff who arrests an outlaw for murder after witnessing him kill a bystander. The man's brother and his posse plan to break him out by any means. This leaves the sheriff to assemble a brave battalion of unlikely heroes in a last-ditched effort to keep the prisoner where he belongs. Rio Bravo is certainly more of a straight-up western than a comedy, but it nevertheless maintains a fun, light-hearted feel. If you like this video, make sure you hit the notification bell so you will see all my new videos. Take a look at my channel to see my other videos, and check out my Facebook page. The links are in the description. I appreciate likes, shares, and subscribers. I am Wrangler. Adios. See you again soon.
Interesting facts about famous people.